Let's talk about nonfiction. Who are you excited about in nonfiction?
Well, nonfiction, I think I'm the most excited about our panel with the MTV VJs. We have Nina Blackwood and Mark Goodman, who are two of the original 5 MTV VJs. And their book talks about when their unplugged adventures. So it's their world sort of colliding with the stars. So I can give you a little preview of what the book talks about. It's also out on May 7th, which is a red letter day for Ben Percy's book and the VJ book. So mark your calendar and get them.
Big day for our authors.
Yes, you've got 11 days before the festival to read them. But the MTV book, John Cougar invited Nina Blackwood to a late night party, and it was sort of a failed seduction attempt. Mark Goodman was invited by David Lee Roth to a party. He was offered cocaine and groupies. Aretha Franklin made chili for Alan Hunter. And
I want to try that chili.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great. I wonder if she wore her hat. And then Bob Dylan whisked Martha Quinn to Ireland on his private jet. So it's little stories like that, and here these VJs who you watched when you were younger are going to come and tell all these stories. So that will be exciting. But the really exciting thing for me is that Hank Stiver from the Washington Post is going to moderate this panel, and I think I'm a bit of a Hank Stiver groupie. He's an award-winning pop culture critic from the Post, and he also writes their TV column. He's a TV critic. But he was 13 when MTV was started on August 1st, 1981. And so his formative teenage years were spent growing up with these VJs as well. And when he was invited to moderate this panel, he canceled all his other plans and said this is too good an opportunity to miss. So it's going to be a great conversation.
I grew up with them too, I don't blame him. A couple other nonfiction authors I want to bring up are Lynn Olson, whose new book, Those Angry Days, just came out. She is the preeminent historian of World War II in terms of policy and politics. And so I'm really looking forward to her. I read one of her previous books. It was terrific. Evan Thomas, the former editor of Newsweek, maybe he's current actually, and he has a book about President Eisenhower. Susanna Cahalan, a reporter for the New York Post, wrote a book about a very rare brain condition that she had, which was fabulous. It was called Brain on Fire. Les Standiford is one of a group of authors who are coming up from Miami to be with us at this festival. And he wrote a book years ago. His new one is about the Founding Fathers. The one years ago was about the Adam Walsh case, and I read it. It was astounding. It was a great book. And an interesting young author, Daniel Hernandez Jr., is best known as being the young intern who saved Gabby Gifford's life in the Tucson shooting incident, and has written a memoir of his life, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. So as far as children's authors, this is where we sort of save the best for last. I mean, it looms larger than some of the other areas this year. We always have that each year. Tell us about this unbelievable group of children's authors.
Well, it is an unbelievable group. One of the authors we have is Maggie Stiefvater. She's a very popular young adult author. She says that she writes books about, some of her books are about dead Welsh kings, some are werewolf nookie, and others are not about that. But she's best known for the Shiver trilogy. A lot of people have read that. She started a new cycle of books called the Raven Cycle, and her first one, Raven Boys, just came out last fall, debuted as a New York Times #1 bestseller. That is a story where a girl named Blue Sargent, she's the daughter of the town psychic, and she's been told that her kiss, if she kisses her true love will die. So she's too practical to believe in true love, and her policy is to stay away from the boys at the prestigious Allionby Academy because the Raven Boys only mean trouble. So that's how it begins, and it takes off from there. New Line has already optioned the rights to it. It's starred reviews, School Library Journal, Kirkus, Booklist, Publishers Weekly, Junior Library Guild Selection, you name it, she's got that award because it's really popular. So that's going to be a great person to come see. Also, we have John Sheshka, who is a beloved children's author of picture books, mostly picture books. He wrote The True Story of Three Little Pigs. That was his first book, and he sold 3 million copies of it already.
And he's also well known for the Stinky Cheese Man.
The Stinky Cheese Man, that's right. And one of my favorites, Squids Will Be Squids.
Yeah.
And lots of others. Something else that he did was he founded Guys Read, which is a website, a web-based literary program to help boys enjoy reading. And one of the things that he did with that is he published a book called Funny Business, and it's a collection of short stories by well-known children's authors like Mac Barnett, who's going to be at our festival, Ewan Colfer, who wrote Artemis Fowl, Kate DiCamillo, who wrote Despereaux, The Tales of Despereaux, and also Because of Winn-Dixie, and Jeff Kinney, who wrote Wimpy Kid.
Sure.
So he's sort of in that world, and he's bringing a lot of excitement with his new book, Spaceheads, but he's also going to be talking with Mac Barnett.
Yes.
And Mac Barnett is another up-and-coming author who's got some fabulous books. His latest is Oh No, Not Again, or How I Built a Time Machine to Save History, or at least my history grade. And the tagline is, it's a terrible thing when you mess up your history test. It's even worse when you mess up all of human history. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and he's also a best-selling New York Times author. Extra Yarn won the Caldecott honor.
Yep.
So we're happy to have him.
Another I'd like to add is Walter Dean Myers, who is currently the National Ambassador for Young People's Literature, has won basically every award in the publishing industry, is just a legend. So we're really honored to have him with us this year. So thanks for that. I wanted to get into another subject, which is you're volunteering for the Washington Independent Review of Books. Tell us about that group.
Well, the Washington Independent Review of Books is an online book review website, and we exist because thoughtful book reviews are becoming less and less available. So we wanted to be a place for that. We review books as they come out, and this year we're very excited to be partnering with the Gaithersburg Book Festival, and we are providing 10 moderators for various panels. We're reviewing books of many of the authors at the book festival, and so far we've got 21 books that either have already been reviewed or will be reviewed for the festival. There will be a link on our homepage where you can go at wirobooks.com, wirobooks.com, and we're going to have a booth at the festival, so if people are interested in that and working with us, stop by, find out more, and we'd love to have people join us.
Excellent. Well, it's a great group, and we're glad to be partnered with them too.
Thank you.
So Becky Meloan, thank you for joining me and giving us a preview of the super amazing, fantastic program coming up on May 18th at the Gaithersburg Book Festival. I can't possibly thank you enough also for all the work you've done over the years to build our festival into the outstanding cultural happening that it is. Find out more about everything about the festival on our website. Happy reading, folks. We'll see you in Gaithersburg.